What's going on, guys? Killer6 back with a legendary item guide on the DLC 1 legendary item, the cheap tips. In this video, I'll cover how to get it, break down how the weapon works, and show you some of the other cool features of this gun. So let's dive in. The cheap tips is a legendary SMG manufactured by Hyperion, and the red text reads, "I'll get home early from work." This is a reference to the Cheap Trick song, "I Want You to Want Me." The special effect on this gun is that shooting enemies causes them to drop casino chips. Each chip that drops gives you a chance at a 10% damage buff for 12 seconds, and that can stack. This can also be used on other weapons as well. So in other words, shoot an enemy and get a bunch of chips on the ground, swap to another weapon, and pick up the chips, and you will get a huge damage buff on that weapon as well. So this isn't necessarily a gun that you're going to want to use itself for the damage, but you can use it to stack up the chips and then swap to something and reap the effects of that. That said, this gun, when you do pick up chips, can actually shred pretty well. So the stats on this one at Mayhem 10 and 11 at level 65 is 4,213 damage, 81% accuracy, 66% handling, reload time is slow at 3.3 seconds, fire rate is okay at 7.55 shots per second, and the mag size on this one is 49. Now this one rolled with the URAD anointment, and I ran out of iridium to re-roll it, so I just left it as URAD. So essentially this footage that you see is me using a non-anointed version, and it still shreds pretty good, if that gives you any kind of indication. The cheap tips can spawn in all the elements and be non-elemental. It only has, I think, about an 8% chance to roll as one of the elemental types though, so be aware of that. On December 17th, 2020, this gun did receive a buff that increased the amount of chips that drops from enemies, essentially giving you a massive increase of damage. To get this gun, you will need to have the Handsome Jackpot DLC. This SMG can drop from any enemy in that DLC, but has a 33.3% drop chance from the Handsome Jackpot in the VIP Tower map. Head to the elevator near the end of the map, and at the top is a save station where all of your subsequent farms will begin. Handsome Jackpot is weak to corrosive throughout most of the fight, and has weak spots in his head, hands, and knees. His final phase takes more damage from incendiary weapons, so just be aware of that. Handsome Jackpot is also extremely good for dropping the DLC 1 class mods, so be on the lookout for those while doing this farm as well. This gun is a Moxie weapon, as you can see by the skin, but it does not feature a lifesteal mechanic. Good anointments for this option include consecutive hits, URAD next to Mag's Elemental, or action skill active 200% weapon damage. Obviously, character-specific anointments can be great choices as well. While this SMG is definitely not the best in the game, it is a lot of fun to use because of the gimmick of it, and it's extremely useful for Amara mains as a way of gaining extra gun damage, which is an area where she is lacking. There are better SMG options for damage and utility, but I think a lot of people sleep on the ability to abuse the chips to boost other weapons. This could lead to some pretty wild damage. I hope this guide to the cheap tips was helpful to you. If it was, then please take a second to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the bell icon if you'd like to be notified whenever I post a new video. You can click on one of the cards at the end of this video to see more legendary item guides as well. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.